Why are a lot of people sleeping on Rage 2? Because I think it actually looks pretty promising. The many trailers and the gameplay they posted show fast gunplay with cool weapons and abilities, fun ways to get those weapons and abilities, cool different activities and also locations. Like, I haven't played Rage 2 yet, but in this video I want to tell you why I'm looking forward to playing it, and I'm curious if you are interested in this game as well. So totally let me know in the comments down below. Would be awesome if you could leave a like as it shows your support, and let's go. I couldn't really get into the first Rage because of the brown and gray colors, the serious tone. Well, seems like Rage 2 is the complete opposite. It's really about fun and the world could not be more colorful, so I'm really looking forward to exploring its different environments. A cool thing that got me interested about this single player game is that after the first 30 minutes you should be able to explore this world and go wherever you want. So also to the different arcs to collect one of the many unique weapons. Like you for example have this Firestorm revolver that shoots bullets that detonate by snapping your fingers. Or the Grav Dart launcher that makes the enemies fly with the anti-gravity bullets. Or you can let them fly to the nearby windmill and let the windmill do the rest. Combos should be a big part of this game as well, like fling the enemy in the air with this gun and then grab your smart rocket launcher to finish them off. And already having this smart rocket launcher early, for example, should help you a ton in the rest of the game. And you can find these unique guns in the different arcs that are scattered across the map. You do need to defeat some enemies in front the arc though to be able to get the gun. For example, in this gameplay from the Red Brat, you see him fight against this large cyber crusher that you will likely have some problems with earlier in the game, I would imagine. Still though, if you succeed, you will be awarded with, in this case, the hyper cannon that can charge shots and penetrate multiple enemies. So that is very powerful indeed. So I like the idea of already being able to find these locations and get these weapons in a random order if you are powerful enough to take on these challenges that protect the arcs. You will also be able to find different abilities in these arcs, like Slam can be found in the Earthscar arc, as we see in the footage from Green Man Gaming. Links to the gameplay that I'm using, by the way, in this video will be in the description down below. So to be able to open this arc, you need to kill mutants in front of it. And if you are successful, then you will be able to get this ability that will blast away the enemies in the area around it. Like, that's the fun thing as well. When you open an arc and get a new weapon or ability, you will be in this small tutorial area where you can try out the weapon or ability first. So in this case you want to jump and slam on the ground, but the longer the fall, so the higher you stand, the more damage you do with the slam ability. I also heard that it should negate any fall damage, so it sounds like the abilities have multiple uses, and that's pretty cool for sure. Other abilities you can unlock are a barrier, for example, that protects you from incoming attacks. There's the Vortex Grenade that drags the enemies to this purple bomb and then explodes, and you also got Shatter that blasts the enemies away, dealing damage in the process as well. So yes, these abilities look like a ton of fun to use in the many different activities that this game seems to have. Like, sure, you got your outpost where you need to kill a certain amount of enemies or destroy the mutant hatching pods, as we see in this footage from IGN. But there are also other activities like the Mutant Bash TV that is basically a horde mode in this weird TV show setting with crazy traps and weird looking variants on the familiar enemies. And I always love these type of modes in games, so I'm totally looking forward to conquering it in Rage 2 as well. And I really hope that there's a special reward for completing this sort of horde mode as well, like maybe a unique gun or ability, something like that. There should also be a ton of vehicle combat and racing opportunities like convoys that patrol the area that you have to take out, and derbies that you can participate in as well. And I really hope that these activities are fleshed out, so they are a fun variation, because your main gameplay loop seems to be going to a location on the map, murdering everyone there, and then going to the other icon on the map. And sure, it helps that the gameplay looks like a ton of fun with the awesome weapons and abilities, and the graphics are pretty amazing as well. But it's hard to say if the story will be interesting enough and if there will be enough side missions that create interesting scenarios as well. For these main missions, we should be going to a lot of smaller indoor areas though, that should make you feel like you're playing a regular IT game like Doom. And it does give you another taste of the world that Avalanche has made for this game. But also the many enemy types should help with the overall diversity of this game. Like, you got your crazy thugs, the mutants, including this big guy, more regular soldier enemies in the Riverhawks. My favorite, the Wasteland Samurais with a blade and the ability to turn invisible. And you got those cyborgs as well that can likely take the most bullets. Every enemy has their different enemy archetypes, and I think that we got a ton of enemies to kill in Rage 2. I'm at least excited to take them out. I also like it when games continue to get supported, and no, it does not need to be an online only game to get content after launch, of course. Look at the games that I cover here on the channel, like Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey, Far Cry 5, and also the recently released Days Gone will get additional content after the release of the game, and all those games are single player titles that can be played offline, just like Rage 2. And yes, Rage 2 is going to be supported well after launch as well, according to the developers. So they will have your standard paid expansions, but more interesting are the events that they plan to do, because they sound quite interesting. An example that they give is that at one point they will release a new creature, and if the community kills, for example, 10,000 of that creature, then you will be awarded with a special unique reward like a weapon skin. So kind of making it a community effort. You likely still have to help to take out this creature, of course, and are not just rewarded if all the other people did the dirty work, but it's still a pretty cool idea. More interesting are the specific weekend events though that they mention, where mutants in the world will change and then will drop different things. And I've covered a lot of these live events here on the channel for, again, games like Far Cry 5, and I never saw this take on it. So that they change existing creatures in the game, but for a specific time only. And again, this is all a single player game, although I do think that you need an online internet connection to be able to do these events. So I think that's always cool to know when you are about to get the game, that you will be able to go back and check for new content for at least months after the release, from the sounds of it. And while making this video, Bethesda actually released their actual post-launch content plan for 2019. So we got way more details right now, and it looks pretty sweet. You see on the calendar right here that in May we already have some Wasteland challenges. So weekly challenges for all players, where we likely have to kill the X amount of one creature before the week is over. And one of the skins we will be able to get is for the Firestorm revolver, and that's of course the thing in a first-person game. A weapon skin is actually pretty cool. There's also this big Bring the Rockets in-game event that likely involves this big creature. More details will be announced on that later. In June, the first big update will arrive. They call it the 30 days update, so likely launching around 30 days after launch. It comes with new major events, a mech that you can control, and this massive new worm enemy for us to take out, and we actually already saw this one in the trailer recently. July has another big update with another new vehicle and more challenges. Like the weekly challenges will keep going every week, and then in August they will have the first major expansion with a new storyline, region, weapons, abilities, vehicles, and also a new enemy faction. And then in November we will get another paid expansion and more world events. So it really seems like they have big plans to support the game, more than I anticipated actually. Looks awesome. Most of it is free apart from the two big expansions. And they will also add new cheat codes to the game, and they actually sound like a ton of fun, these cheat codes. So when you enable them, you will not be able to gain any trophies or achievements. Makes sense of course, because you kinda make the game easier. It's just to make the game a little more fun. So we got one cheat, for example, that lets you summon Collect the Support to help you out. We got the Super Wing Stick, making it chained to a ton of different enemies. And there are also cheat codes that will add crazy commentary to your game. And there should be way more. They're all earnable in the game with in-game currency that you collect. And some of them are already included in the deluxe edition, so you unlock them immediately. And otherwise you have to search for the Wasteland Wizard. We haven't seen this person in action yet, but here you can buy the cheat codes for, again, in-game money. But there will also be progression boosters like XP boosts that you can also buy with things that you earn in the game.
Down the goon squad.
So yes, I'm interested to check out Rage 2 for sure. It looks like a game that I would like, open world, single player with fun gameplay, cool enemies and activities. I'm just not sure if it will be 100% good, so for a long period of time. No need to pre-order, of course. I would wait for the reviews or ask me after I played the game if I recommend it. I totally think that it will be a fun game to cover here on the channel for sure, if it turns out to be as I hope it would be if I really like the game. So I'm curious if you are interested in it too. 2. Subscribe for more Rage 2. A like on the video would of course be super appreciated. And I will speak to you next time, likely with some Rage 2 tips as well. Goodbye.